Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at VR Troopers mini-series issue 1. Is there a chance it could be more like Power Rangers? I don't know, but we will find out, I guess, over the next weeks. I guess it depends on sales, whether they decide to pursue it a little bit more. So this is written by Mairghread Scott, who did the free comic book day opener. Illustrations by Sebastian, Piriz, colors by J.P. Jordan, and it's by Taylor Esposito. Sorry, I could not get that out. And I do apologize if I said any of those names wrong. I like that VR Troopers bit there. That looks very cool. And there are a lot of variant covers, which is a normal Boom thing. So our story begins with Ryan Steele and what looks like Jeb. It is Jeb, isn't it? Yeah, just chilling. And his father, a usual monologue. So imagine the show. He used to do this little monologue at the beginning of the show or the end of the show about his dad and what his dad's advice was. I'm not sure about you or your experiences with your dad or your children's, but that was a hell of a lot of advice to give somebody who wasn't even probably a full-grown adult at that point. So if everything's fine, and you're not bleeding, you're not dying, you're not hungry, you can get along. But in reality, he's just alone and a little bit hungry. We are still in the same universe as Power Rangers Prime. Eltarians have taken over the world, and as he says, there's traffickers, there's weapons, there's alien drugs, things that we can't imagine now that the world has been sort of colonized, and refugees have come to this planet as well. However, somebody, so on his run, he knows there's something's going on inside the water and power plant. So, Trooper Transform, VR, sorry, I can resist. And he comes across, they remind me of cogs, but they're not cogs. I can't remember what they're called. Yeah, sorry, I should have done a bit of homework on that, which I clearly didn't. So, he starts investigating as it runs off. Being disguised as a woman at one point, and he finds somebody unconscious. So he realizes something is going on and calls for assistance from JB and Caitlin, and then he comes across the big bad. He's given one option: walk away, trooper, walk away. He's like, that's not in my vocabulary. It's not in mine as well. So you get some nice artwork scene, which I think is great. I do like the action. This first part of the story is very fast paced, and it's almost like a mystery. Now, one thing I I did pick up on is I'm just gonna say this. I'm not sure I can beat them alone. That bugged me for most of this story because I was thinking about the way the world is, the way people are perhaps a bit sensitive around verbs. I personally, I don't understand it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So I thought it was about that, but as I got into the story, I think it's more of a cover for who this person is, because saying certain terms could reveal potentially their identity quite quickly. And if that's not a giveaway, I'm going to blurt it out at the end anyway, who I believe this to be, because it will become quite obvious. So the battle gets quite fierce, and the hostages are threatened, and Ryan Steele has to sacrifice his virtualizer, and as such, the being goes to transform, and it starts going well until Laser Lance, come on. Yeah. I'm sorry. It just reminds me of that show. I actually really want to watch it again. I need to find some way to watch it because now I feel like I want to. So it all ends well. He gets his virtualizer back. Nobody's hurt, and everybody goes back. And JB is just saying that the parts are made from Earth parts, and I don't think there's anything special here. Now, in this reality, JB is an accomplished scientist and very, very skilled, which I don't remember him being a scientist in the show, but in this he is. Caitlin, I felt throughout this whole book, barely has any input, which I think is a little bit disappointing. And we're probably introduced to their handler a little bit more. I can't remember her name. Jess. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. You'd think I'd read this. I did read it, but I can't remember all these new names. So we've got Zaris, and oh, sorry, and that was another thing as well. They refer to Ziktor, and remember in the show it was a cover, the businessman who was really an alien in disguise. So I like the fact that we are going down that hole, because that is a direction VR Troopers should be heading in terms of their own damn comic. So Zaris sort of beats around the bush and talks about different realities. Now, we know this is a different reality than the Power Rangers we were reading in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Power Rangers Prime is in a different universe. So I love the fact that they give this comparison quite quickly, and how she says nobody knows this. It's like not even most Eltarians don't know. So the fact that I'm sharing this with you is quite important. And we learned that this person that's come through is from another reality, and the Eltarian government want to talk to them quite quickly. So JB shared their visor, which showed the character here, this alien as such. And then she starts talking about it. Your father broke through this barrier originally, and we think that that's what's led to others being able to come through our reality, meaning virtual reality. It doesn't mean virtual reality, but I felt like that needed to be thrown in there. So he talks about an experiment that Ryan Steele's dad, Tyler Steele, actually was doing, and how they investigated and came to this conclusion. So the story sort of ends with Ryan going off, a bit upset that he didn't have this information sooner. And then later, this is probably one of the only times that Caitlin talks with JB, where he talks about the virtualizer. The person that almost did not morph, become a trooper, had to be related to Ryan, indicating Ryan's father, which I think hopefully a lot of you picked up earlier when I was talking about him. You know, if they had said that, that could have revealed it quite quickly. He also says that all that footage was shared with Sasha. I'm just going to call her Sasha because I can't remember Zaja. It will come to me eventually. And he says she saw it too. However, she decided to keep that to herself. So why is she still keeping it? Potentially a mystery that this could actually be Tyler Steele. And it makes sense in terms of this mystery around him, because if you remember the series, there was always a mystery around his father's disappearance. It wasn't like he was killed, he just disappeared. And his friend who worked in virtual reality, did they have come to a conclusion with that? I don't actually know. This is why I need to watch it again. So it ends with a beginning of a mystery. Will he find out who his father is? Is that his father? Is that an alternative reality father? That would be quite interesting. Here are all the additional covers you can get if you want to get them. There are a lot, and we can't be surprised from Boom Studio. I've particularly gone for this foil version, which I think is very nice. It's a bit more thicker, a bit more card, rather than just a standard. But I also did get the Monty's, the Goalie Monty's variant, which I will quickly bring in here because it's awesome, and I'm so happy with it because I've always collected these sort of helmet holding variants. So anyway, hope you like my video. I hope you like VR Troopers. It's early days. I'm not fully sold on this. I didn't particularly like them in Power Rangers Prime, but I think I will enjoy them in this if their environment is created properly. So there you go. Anyway, hope you like my video. Do please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I do really appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. As always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.